Point, sports and entertainment. Please hit the like when you come in here. Make sure you sub to the channel if you're not a member, and also hit the notifications to get all of my content and all of my videos. Um, Salute to the whole entire Lions Den basketball as well as boxing community. And salute to all of my subs that's been rocking with me day ones as well as my new subs too as well. Um, let's go ahead and get right to it, all right? Going live a little bit late, you know what I'm saying? But I used to actually go live during this time all the time, but I be having so much stuff to do during this time, you know what I'm saying? So, especially during the week, that I really don't go live as frequently. I used to go live uh, even later than this, you know what I'm saying? But nevertheless, man, it don't matter what time I go live, you know what I'm saying? I'm still gonna um, drop some knowledge on y'all. Now, I want to make something very clear, okay? Now, this election pretty much was it was the lesser of two evils, so to speak. Um, a lot of people got to understand, man, that you're really not supposed to put your faith in a human being's hand. You know what I'm saying? What's up, Jesse? I see you in here. Please hit the like when you come in here, all right? Double tap the screen. But you don't want to put your faith in anybody's hands. You know what I'm saying? Um, that's with the president. That's with your friends. That's with anybody. You need to trust yourself more than anything. Um, my thing is this right here, right? If you think that you getting mad because Trump is president, or even if Kamala would have became president or something like that, come on, go. Then it says a lot about you, because what it says is that, man, these people can't drive, man. What it says about you is that what's up, Ted? I see you in here. What it says about you is that you're not prepared for anything. Now, shout out to the brother exclusive news TV. I was on this panel earlier. I was on there chopping it up with them earlier, and got into a discussion. I ain't even really gonna call it a debate, but we was having a hard argument, man, about this whole Trump winning the election and everything. And a lot of people feel like this was a selection and not an election. It was an election, okay? Um, People are gonna say that the ballots were rigged and all this other stuff or whatever. But the fact is that Kamala did not have her shit together. What's up with it, Cottage? I'll see you in a minute. Make sure y'all go sub to the brother Cottage, okay? Look, whoever you voted for is whoever you voted for. You know what I'm saying? For whatever reason that you voted for them. Any reason that you voted for them, that's your prerogative. But you can't have it both ways, okay? And first and foremost, what people had to understand, man, is that, and I'm gonna say this, I'll say it again. Kamala Kamala destroyed more and more her credibility with the people by the stuff that she was doing. Um, Never mind the fact that she had some women up there who some people felt like were classless. Okay, never mind that she did not speak on policies, and she was always coming with evasive. I like to call it evasive reasoning. Evasive reasoning. That's something that I made up. But basically, what I'm saying, a lot of questions that were thrown at her. She didn't want to have tough conversations a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? And while it seemed like she had everything in the bag in terms of um, you know politics and stuff like that, really, to be quite honest with you, a lot of people weren't relating to what she was talking about. And then we listen. I'm not looking at it from a standpoint of Kamala, having giving a woman a chance to run a country, because there are many women out here that I feel that are very strong and really capable of running the country. Now, I remember a long time ago, I got into a heated argument with you said, yeah, 1,000%. Saw the election on TV. Yeah, 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 yeah. Um, I got into like a heated discussion with a guy a long time ago, and he said that he was being, you know, one of those male sexists, saying that, a woman couldn't run the country. You know what I'm saying? And I thoroughly disagree with that. You know what I'm saying? Just like, a woman. A lot of people feel like women shouldn't be in the pulpit. Women shouldn't be leading anything or whatever, and that's because of the emotional standpoint of things. I'm not going to bring gender into this, but a lot of people have said, okay, yeah, it's just because she's a woman. It's just because she's a woman. Well, they didn't say that about Obama when they voted him in there because he happened to be a man of color. You understand what I mean? So it had nothing to. It really didn't have anything to do with that. Donald Trump won the popular vote. He won the popular vote. The key states, you know, and more importantly, um, as much as some people might not like Donald Trump, he outworked Kamala, and that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? He was more relatable to the people that voted for him. You know what I'm saying? Donald Trump might not be. Of course, he doesn't know jack shit about politics. We all know that and stuff. And he might have all these felonies and stuff like that people are saying and stuff like that. But I mean, if we're gonna go there, man, we gotta start looking at all of the presidents over time and what kind of dirt they had under their fingernails and stuff like that. If we're just gonna sit up here and we're gonna dummy it down, because let's just call it what it is, man. Um, Before Trump had became president, people weren't talking about how Trump was a racist. People weren't talking about how Trump did this and Trump did that and Trump was a crook and all this other stuff. They just saw him as a real estate mogul, okay, who happened to be, have a lot of money and stuff. You know what I'm saying? Besides that, they weren't bringing up all this stuff. But now that he has become president and stuff like that, they're putting it all out there. They're putting it putting the name all out there in a negative light and everything. And you can say what you want. Uh, he did it by just constantly being consistent and showing up and facing the music and facing tough questions that Kamala Harris was unable to face. You know what I'm saying? Um, People want to bring in the black and white ordeal. I mean, look, we still don't know. And look, not that it even mattered. You know what I'm saying? Like, really, honestly, Kamala really could have said, that's none of your business. I choose not to answer that or whatever. I prefer not to say. You know what I'm saying? It's just like when you have a what's up with it, Angelo Bell? I'll see you in the building, man. We're just up in here chopping it up, man. Feel free to comment if you want to, man. But I'm just chopping it up right now, late in the evening. But salute to you. But you said, well, yeah, look, Cottage. I tell people all the time, man. It's your choice. It's your choice to do whatever you choose. You know what I'm saying? Um, Kamala, she lost. Um, she lost the American people, man. I think more so in the debate. That's just my personal opinion. A lot of people felt like she won the debate, but to me, I really didn't feel that way. She didn't even show me anything. She, Kamala didn't show me true leadership qualities. You know what I'm saying? There were some points that I wanted to hear from her, and look, the abortion thing. That to me, that was a sympathy grab when we talk about the whole Roe versus Wade deal and all that other stuff. That's a sympathy grab. I honestly, I have a heartfelt compassion for that situation or whatever because we are talking about a human life. You know what I'm saying? Um, but when you bring that up and you're trying to gain the gain the American people off of a sympathy grab because of you know a woman choosing to do uh, something with her body and stuff like that. Now you got to come stronger than that. You got to come strong. You know what I'm saying? And she had the ability to come stronger than that. She did it. Um, Trump, you know what I'm saying? As much as people, um, we want to try to get around all of this and stuff like that. Now, when it comes to immigration, am I against immigration? No, I'm not against immigration. I'm against the ones that come in here and cause terror. But if you're coming in here and you're trying to live a productive life or whatever, yeah, if you're illegal, okay, we understand it. But if you're not causing no trouble, I understand that. But if you're illegal, try to do your best to get legal, and that's what Trump wants to do. It's not like he doesn't want anybody here to have live a productive life or be a productive citizen or anything like that. But you got to get legal. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, man, with this whole felony ordeal, him being he's got a lot of felonies, but people are getting mad because they're looking at it from a standpoint of okay, yeah, this person can't get hired, that person can't get hired and stuff like that. Listen, you could cry me a river all day when we talk about that sort of thing, but when there is a will, there is a way. When there's a will, there's a way. I've seen a lot of people with their backs against the wall in terms of them being locked up and then having a felony on the record and whatever, and they were able to bounce back. They were able to bounce back. You said chilling me and my son, watching my Tar Heels versus Kansas. Okay, that's great, man. That's great. But right now, a lot of people are making all these excuses, and they're sitting up there and they're saying, "Oh, okay, well, yeah, Trump, he has felonies and stuff like that, but he could become the president of the United States and all this other stuff." Listen, I tell you not to focus. Don't get your blood boiling because of that. Because guess what? Stay in your lane. Like just because you're a felon, that doesn't. You being a felon is not going to stop you from having your own business. You being a felon is not going to stop you from going to school. You being a felon is not going to stop you from being successful. That's my whole point. You know what I'm saying? Now, it's very stupid to compare yourself to a guy like Trump, and here's why. Tr- do you have Trump's money? Okay, 9 times out of 10, a lot of you don't. Do you have Trump's popularity? No, you do not. Do you know the people that Trump knows? No, you do not. So you trying to, that's like the whole saying and the dummy down saying of comparing apples to oranges, and that's basically what it is. That's basically what it is. You can't compare yourself to a guy whose money you're in a different tax bracket than Donald Trump, and you're saying, okay, well, I can't do this and I can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, we got to also look at it from this standpoint too. What crime did you commit? What crime was it that you did? You know, because if you're sitting up there and you're saying, okay, well, I let's say you did the unthinkable. You know what I'm saying? You fill in the blank, whatever it is, and then you're sitting up there. Well, I should be able to get a job. I should be able to do that, or something like that. Well, some of these places that you're going to and that you're trying to work for, or whatever, they do have a handbook, and they do have people there that might frown on what you did. So if you were if you had a DWI and you happen to kill somebody, right? Just stay with me. I'm just being honest. If you had a DWI and you killed somebody and you had to do time in jail, you know what I'm saying? Well, guess what? That's a felony on your record. And then on top of that, you got to depending on what it was, you know what I'm saying, manslaughter, whatever it is. Um, that's on your record. So if they let you out, you got to think about that supervisor or that manager, that person that's trying to hire you. They're looking at it from a standpoint of, okay, well, they probably had a family member that was killed in a by a drunk driver or something like that. So right off the rip, they're probably not going to give you a chance or whatever based on how they feel and based on what you did. You know what I'm saying? And that's just sometimes that's just natural human feelings and being a human being. You know what I'm saying? Because of what you did, and that's near and dear to them. So you got to look at it from that standpoint. But you got to look at, okay, look at your felony as opposed to that guy's felony. If it was something where you know you're an SO and you're having to register and stuff like that, you got to look at it from that standpoint too. We don't want to have these tough conversations. People, listen, it's facts over feelings. And as far as the dude, as far as people thinking that I'm a joke and um, we talking all this goofy stuff and all this other stuff. Listen, man, we can have a conversation. See, y'all don't want to sit here and y'all don't want to have these conversations, but when we do, y'all want to pay attention to stuff that really you shouldn't even be really looking at or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong, I pay attention to sports and everything, but y'all are so blinded by the fact that okay, yeah, Trump is president and stuff like that. You're so angry. It's taking it's taking your attention off of what you're really supposed to be doing. If you don't like Trump that much, well, start preparing yourself and getting yourself ready. You know what I'm saying? While you're young and get because 4 years is gonna fly by. Just like it seemed like yesterday in 2016, Trump was president. It seemed like just yesterday we were talking about the pandemic. It seemed like just yesterday we was in Katrina. It seemed like just yesterday we was in 9/11. It seemed like just yesterday we was in the in the war over there in Afghanistan, Iraq. It seemed like just yesterday we was in Desert Shield or Desert Storm. You know what I'm saying? All of these years are gonna fly by, but um, a lot of you really do need to focus your attention on what you need to take care of because that's really all it is. It's about taking care of yourself. Trump is not gonna do you any justice. You know what I'm saying? Trump is not gonna take care of your bills. Trump is not the end all be all. Um, and I hate to say it, some people actually voted for Trump out of anger for Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? And if you did that, hey, that's on you. I can't judge that. Now, me myself personally, would I have done that? No. You know what I'm saying? Uh, but all I'm saying is that some of y'all need to get out of your feelings, man, because he's in the White House or whatever. Y'all are talking about, oh yeah, he was selected, not elected. No, they because to be honest with you, Trump's back was against the wall. He didn't even want to debate Kamala Harris again, and a lot of people felt like he lost that was going to lose that election because of that. They felt like he should have debated her again because they felt like he didn't do a good job. Me myself personally, uh, I'm not gonna lie to you. I thought that Trump was, you know, he had his back against the wall when he did that. For the simple reason is, he should have, proved to the people that he could actually beat her fair and square because a lot of people felt like it was a sloppy debate. What are you doing, man? Are you going? Sorry, y'all. I'm gonna be driving, waiting on this guy. Come on. But um, I didn't really like. I didn't feel that Trump lost the debate. You know what I'm saying? I felt like Trump was outnumbered in the debate. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was telling the brother exclusive news. I felt like Trump was he was outnumbered. in the debate. So with that right there, to me, um, Kamala actually had the advantage, and she still didn't. She still was unable um, to get the victory. That's just in my opinion. A lot of people felt like she won. There were some people that felt like Trump won. You know what I'm saying? And I felt like Trump won the won the debate. You know what I'm saying? Because he was able to talk about stuff. You said I'm not in my feelings. Oh, salute to you, exclusive man. Nah, I know you're not in your feelings. And listen, and I'm gonna give you a wrench too. Um, this isn't a. I want people to understand something. This isn't a shot at anybody. Okay. This isn't a shot at anybody. Right. This is more so to be able to have a conversation. About this. The state of our society that we're in, and a lot of y'all can't see beyond Trump. Y'all can't see beyond Kamala. Neither one of them are gonna pay my bills. Just like George Washington didn't he didn't pay nobody's bills. You know what I'm saying? Just like George W. Bush didn't pay nobody's bill. Abraham Lincoln, all these presidents and stuff like that, they had dirt up under their fingernails that were criminals. A lot of people. I get so deep to say, everybody looks at Lincoln like he's a hero and stuff like that. People like, oh yeah, he signed the Emancipation Proclamation or whatnot. He didn't even really want to sign that, but people don't want to talk about that. People don't want to have that type of conversation, or the obvious thing that like exclusive had brought up earlier, about the Epstein list and stuff like that. Well, there's plenty of people that were on the Epstein list or whatever. You know what I'm saying? That you're watching their films. Because Chris Tucker was there. There were people that were the president of the United States. Both Michelle and Barack Obama was on there. You said, "Oh, gee, I understand. It's about you and you taking care of your business." Absolutely, absolutely. Now, look, I'm really serious about when I say that uh, I could care less who's in that house. You know why? Because the brother exclusive man. I'm able to have a conversation with him. If you have kids, okay, and I don't care what age they are, but me, I got young kids, all right, and I also have a teenager who in a couple of years is gonna be out of high school. But if you have kids, you know what I'm saying. It is your duty and it is your obligation. It is your obligation to take care of your shit right now, because exclusive Ted, this is what you got to look at it, right? When you leave here, what are you going to leave? You know what I'm saying? Besides your legacy, what are you going to leave? Are you going to leave them with something to fall back on? Yeah, you could feed them knowledge, you could teach them or whatever, teach and preach all day. You know what I'm saying? But that's only going to go so far. You know, you have to teach them, you know what I'm saying, understanding that you depending on um, a human being that exclusive, that shits like me, that snores at night like me, that has to use the bathroom like me, that heart pumps like me, that has lungs, has two arms, two legs, fingers and toes, a brain, oxygen running through me, just like me. You think that I'm gonna hold him in higher regard than me? Absolutely not. That's just like, and the reason, and when I allude to that point that you brought up, exclusive, about the whole felony deal, a felony does not stop you from being successful. He has 34 felonies, right, exclusive, right, Ted. But the thing about it is, do you have Trump's money? Do you have his bravado? Do you have his popularity? Do you know some of the people that he knows? Have you done some of the things that he has done? 9 times out of 10, you have not. You know what I'm saying? So us being like, oh man, how he gonna get in the White House? Da, 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 da. I'm not worried about that, because to be honest with you, how do you know that he really is capable of really handling that? You know what I'm saying? Now some people can't, and listen, being in the White House and being in politics, you look at a lot of those politicians, exclusive, Ted. You look at them, they look like they are getting no sleep. Hell, look at Obama, exclusive, and Ted. When Obama came in there, what's up with it, Big Pressure? I see you in here, bro. Big Pressure. Okay, listen, y'all. Obama, I mean, Big Pressure, exclusive. Everybody that's up in here. When Obama got into office, okay, hey, exclusive. Obama's hair, when he first got in there, when he first got elected in 2008, Obama's hair was jet black. Well, it was black. I ain't gonna say jet black, but it was black, right? Man, by the time Obama, I would say, like, it just progressively got grayer, gray, and then after a while, his Obama's hair was white. You know what I'm saying? You said hair's lost. We still got to maintain and still live our life, and don't depend on Trump or hair. Exactly. That's my only thing about saying that. But and what I was saying earlier, salute to you, Stephen Green. Make sure y'all go sub to Stephen Green. Make sure y'all go sub to Exclusive, and make sure y'all go sub to the homie Big Pressure too. All of them got dope channels. All of them come with logic and everything. You know what I'm saying? So I appreciate y'all being in here. But this is my thing, man. I'm not depending on anybody. Um, Exclusive know how I rock, man. Like, yeah, all right, he's in the White House. We still got to pay our bills. We still got to maintain our cars. Still got to maintain your house. You know what I'm saying? More importantly, you got to maintain your health more than anything. Because Trump, you think Trump is going to be in there when that lady in the white coat has to give you some bad news or something like that? You think Trump is going to be there, or Kamala going to be there? No, no, they're not gonna be there. So listen, man, I'm talking about people. When I say that people are in their feelings, because exclusive, believe it or not, man, I'm talking about, there are a lot of people that I'm talking to on a daily out here. You know what I'm saying? Outside of YouTube, that are angry at me. I'm talking about family members. I'm talking about people that I conversate with on a normal basis. People at work, they're disgusted about what is taking place. You understand what I mean? It's not just one person that I'm talking about, or nah, You know what I'm saying? It's not any of that. It is people out here that you talk to on a normal basis, man, that are really disgusted about what's going on. And they'll get mad at me because I'm telling you, like, well, it's just like what Stephen said. You can't put your faith in them. They're not the most high. The president, the queen, the ruler, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a democracy, a monarchy, you know what I'm saying? Whatever type of government it is, you can't put your faith in that person as the Most High. You just can't. You just can't. Or you're really gonna be led astray, and you're gonna be even more frustrated. As a man and as a woman too, for your women that are out there single and having to do things on your own or whatnot. Focus on yourself and get your household prepared. You know what I'm saying? Get your life insurance together. You know what I'm saying? Get you a IUL. You know what I'm saying? Get you a life insurance policy that has living benefits. Right? Make sure that your kids are covered. You can get multiple policies, and I'm talking about not only on yourself but as well as your kids too. You be like, why am I gonna get life insurance policy? Well, you got to think about it like this: exclusive big pressure and Stephen Green. See, we don't want to have this type of conversation. People don't want to have the conversation. They want to have conversation about life, but we don't want to talk about the unthinkable that may happen. And then you got people that want to, put up GoFundmes for your funeral and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? First and foremost, if you're over the age of 30 or 35, you should be having your your insurance together, not only your health insurance but your life insurance. You know what I'm saying? And also getting your inheritance together too, and also getting your will together too, because especially if you have kids. But we don't like to have these type of conversations. Uh, Also, what you need to be doing is you need to be stocking up on things that on necessities that you may need. Yeah, Trump is in office and everything, but let's not forget we are talking in American uh, an American land that we're in a lot of debt right now. You know what I'm saying? It's still when you go to the store, everything is sky high. You understand what I mean? Like, get your shit together. Get your shit together, man. Don't have this mentality like, oh yeah, well if I die, I die, and all this other stuff. Nah, don't look at it like that. You know what I'm saying? Do not look at it like that. You want to live as long as you can, and in good health for as long as you can too as well. You know what I'm saying? You want to be able to see your. You want to. I want to be here so I could at least be able to say great, 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 great 5 times. I want to see my great, 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 great grandkid. You know what I'm saying? Do I know if that's going to happen? Maybe not. But that's what you should be striving for. You know, you need to be preparing yourself. Get yourself in shape. You know, and the reason why I say that is because you got to. Let's just be real. You have this society has changed. There's no respect. If you got to learn how to shoot a gun, learn how to shoot a gun. You said I have an IRA retirement for my job. Uh, the include stock. Yeah, that's great. That's great. Yeah, get your retirement in order too. But also, you don't want. Listen, that's what's problem with our culture too. I've had people get on Facebook or they'll get on social media and stuff like that, or through text message or something. I've even received emails talking about they need a GoFundMe for such and such because they didn't have their affairs in order. That's why we look like a lot of people don't even take us serious. You know what I'm saying? You want to know why a lot of these immigrants are over here that they're taking up jobs and stuff like that is because while they might be illegal and stuff like that, they're coming over here and they got their shit together. And I'm talking about the ones that are coming over here and not causing trouble and stuff. You know what I'm saying? They're coming over here. They're getting businesses. They're coming over here and they're doing everything that they can for their families and stuff like that. Some of these guys, man, barely speak English or whatever, but they work 50 times harder than all these people that claim they speak great English and all this other stuff. You know what I'm saying? So, um, yeah, man. Like it's listen. Uh, we're in a state of society right now, man, where a lot of people want to sit up here and they want to do a lot of finger pointing. They want to talk about, oh yeah, he was selected, and as opposed to being elected and stuff like that. Listen, man, we could do that all day. We could go back and forth or whatever. The White House don't even have their shit together and haven't had their shit together. You know what I'm saying? You said the people from other countries a lot have their own businesses. Yeah, they do. And I never get mad at that. You know what I'm saying? As a matter of fact, I appreciate that. I think it's a great thing that they come over here and stuff like that. It's just that after a while you do want to be legal. You know what I'm saying? You want to be legal. You want and that's I think that's what Trump is trying to bring to the table too. You know what I'm saying? He wants you to be legal and stuff like that. As far as the wall is concerned, hey, it didn't really matter to me. You know what I'm saying? Like it didn't really matter to me. People were gonna find a way regardless to get in here or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, man, Stephen, that a lot of these people that are sitting up here saying, "Oh yeah, well I don't want these people here" and all this other stuff, they'll hire them real quick. They'll hire them to get a job done real quick. Who you think's fixing the roads? Who you think's doing a lot of the construction? Who you think is doing all this work, this hard ass labor that a lot of people don't really want to do? It's certainly not a lot of our people. Our people have gotten lazy. Our people have gotten lazy. They have gotten lazy. You said our black community be flossing, talking about the money they got, but need to go from you when something happened. Exactly. When you could have been taking all that time that you on the cell phone. Why you think? Okay, listen. This is the thing, right? This is the thing. Big pressure. Check it. Do you think that they putting all this stuff on YouTube and advertising IULs and life insurance and you could do this, you know what I'm saying, and to get prepared and stuff like that. You think they just doing that just to be doing that? No, they're trying to tell you to wake up, getting your taxes together and stuff like that. Making sure you getting your credit right and stuff like that. You think that they just putting that out there just to be putting that out there? No. Jump on it. That's what they doing. What you think? What you think the white folks is doing? Big Pressure, Steven, Cottage, Exclusive. Them white folks are jumping on there. Bankruptcy. You know what I'm saying? I know some people, they probably haven't been in a situation. You know what I'm saying? But there's some people that have. Listen, man. What you got to understand, man, is like bankruptcy ain't really as bad as what some people make it seem. There's people getting that have done bankruptcy like 2 times or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Other races or whatever, but they're not going to tell you that. And if do whatever you got to do what you want to do. People need to get out their feelings. The majority of America has spoken. That's a fact. That's a fact. Big pressure. Listen. Everybody wants to sit up here and a lot of people, big pressure, they're sitting up there and they have the audacity to say, I want to recount and all this other stuff. Look, it's over with. And on top of that, listen, I'm gonna take it a step further. A lot of you want to sit up here and, oh man, how you gonna down her and how you gonna do this and how you gonna do that? Well, she displayed her leadership quality by not showing up and facing the people right after she had lost the election. That right there alone just showed you, you know what I'm saying, how sore of a loser she was, that she didn't have any leadership quality. Look, I understand you upset, but you got to hold that L. You're taught that from a youth to hold that L. You know what I'm saying? Like when you play youth sports, or you know what I'm saying, whether it be basketball, soccer, t-ball, whatever it is, what do y'all do? Y'all line up and say good game, good game, good game, good game. You know what I'm saying? That's what you're supposed to do. And now that you're adult, you're not even practicing what you supposedly preach. You know what I'm saying? So all this stuff about, oh yeah, she's a woman, they didn't give her a chance, and all this other stuff, man, that's BS, man. I don't want to hear any of that. You know, but I always say this: would she have been any better than Trump? She had opportunity. Now, what was unfair to her was the fact that she took on a lot of Biden's BS or whatever. But at the same token, we really can't say that because who was at the forefront of um, foreign policy? It was her. And a lot of the stuff that she said, as I told Big Pressure, I think I told Miss Parker, and I also told Exclusive on his channel. A lot of the stuff she regurgitated uh, from Biden, she inherited it. A lot of the stuff, a lot of the problems, a lot of the talking points that Biden has said, and try to use it as own. You said, Harris, you given to run for president. Harris, you uh, given to run for president. She didn't earn it. Um, I didn't. I didn't kind of get what you were saying, Stephen. But all I'm saying is, man, we can't be in our feelings about this, about Trump being in office. Um, People were mad in 2016 when he was a president. Hell, there was people that was mad when George Bush was president. You know what I'm saying? Sadly to say, man, we can't depend on that guy. He's a human being just like us. You know what I'm saying? Like you've seen it with Biden. Biden seemed like he was deteriorating by the day. Could barely stand up there. You understand what I mean? But everybody's like, oh yeah, well we need somebody that's younger. We need somebody that's this. We need somebody that's that, and all this other stuff. What makes you think that she's any more gonna do any better than what Biden did or what Trump is? A lot of people want to bring up all his age and stuff like that. Listen, I really don't want to use this example, but I have to. Trump was in a hot ass suit in McDonald's working the fryer, standing up, having to take instructions on what to do and stuff like that. Not for no 2 minutes or nothing like that. We're talking about for like a few hours, working the drive-through stuff like that. You think Biden would be able to do something like that? No. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at it from a health and a mobility standpoint. He wasn't fit, man. Biden fell. He's failed multiple times. You don't hear that about Trump falling and stuff like that. He probably fell, once or twice or whatever, but Biden was consistently falling. He wasn't fit to be the president of the United States. Did you hear about Obama falling? You know what I'm saying? As much as I don't feel like he did that much for the country, did you hear about Obama falling? You know what I'm saying? Did you hear about, George Bush falling and stuff like that? Did you hear about Clinton falling and all this other? No. I was just saying, when Biden stepped down, Harris was given the spot to run for president. She didn't gave the others a chance to run. Or I gather you meant didn't give the others a chance to run versus Trump. Well, she stepped in there, and she felt like it was her duty, her obligation to go ahead and be in there. You know what I'm saying? Me myself personally, I'm not I'm not mad at the fact that she ran. You know what I'm saying? But you had the opportunity to show or present to the American people and lay out what your plans were. Y'all talked about all this plans. You know that was one of the things that you regurgitated. You sat up there and said in a debate and regurgitated the same shit that Biden said, saying that Trump had no plan. That's the only really one of the main talking points that Biden was saying, that Trump had no plan. But it seemed like you really didn't have no plan. The only thing that you were doing, you said, I had my mind made up before Biden stepped aside. Kamala couldn't change my mind. This was nothing to do with her gender or race. I agree, exactly. But a lot of people think like it's a woman. Look, big pressure. And Stephen and Cottage, I'm gonna tell you something. Me myself personally, I've seen women in leadership, and I don't mind a woman in leadership. Um, there's a lady, at my church. She preaches. Okay, my mom was a head nurse running various clinics, right? Um, I've seen women high rank in the military in my family. You know what I'm saying? Having to give orders. You know what I'm saying? Like, uh, I've seen a lot of women that are entrepreneurs that have to run companies, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Have to run franchises. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's what I'm saying is in my point, and in politics too. We have several judges in our state. You know what I'm saying? Because being a judge, you do have the power. Like, you're the end all be all pretty much. You know what I'm saying? You're the one that's got to bang the gavel, and your fate, their fate rests in your hands pretty much. So what I'm saying is that I don't have a problem with a woman being in leadership, especially a black woman. You know what I'm saying? And the women in my family, big pressure. If you listen to my channel, especially Steven, especially Cottage, exclusive, everybody else that's been in here, the the women in my family are gonna check you right at the front door. You know what I'm saying? And plus, I got daughters. My daughter is already like that, especially my youngest daughter. She's already like on it. She's checking you. She's gonna question you right then and there. And we got a bunch of alpha women in our family. You know what I'm saying? Like leaders. You understand? Kamala really didn't come off like that to me. You know what I'm saying? She really just did not. And that's just my personal opinion. So I'm glad Big Pressure had touched on that, saying that it's not about gender, it wasn't about race or any of that. I'm I'm with you 100%. But you have a lot of people out here that think that, oh, okay, you just didn't want a woman to be um, in position of power, and that's just not true. Yeah, I know you have Cottage. You said and Harris was vice president for Biden too since 2021. Yeah, but like I said, she just and some people are gonna sit up there and say, okay, well, she should have had more. She should have had more time. To prepare and stuff like that. Do I kind of feel like that's true? Yeah, in a sense, but a lot. Listen, you got to look at it. Look at Trump's standpoint. He's not a politician, but he still outworked you. He still outworked you. He outmaneuvered you. You know what I'm saying? So let's just let that sink in. And he did the same thing to Hillary. That's what I was telling Exclusive too. He did the same thing to Hillary. Hillary never wanted to face the music, face the people. She missed some rallies. So the places that she didn't show up, guess who was showing up? It was Trump that was showing up, and he clearly outworked Hillary. This is a white man, and this is a white woman. You know what I'm saying? So we can't use race in this instance. Okay, you could probably pull the gender card or whatever, but in this case right here, and on top of that, you're talking about two quote unquote criminals, because let's just call it what it is. We know that Hillary had a sketchy past, and a lot of people wanted to know about it, but she could not face the music. You know what I'm saying? And that was the thing. That was some similarities with Kamala Harris that she had it, in the same token that lined up with Hillary Clinton. Yeah, I mean they respected Trump. Like I respect Trump. You know what I'm saying? Do I like the shit that he does? No. You know what I'm saying? But I will say this: he brings a lot more to the table than Kamala does. You know, and on top of that, a lot more people can relate to Trump, because let's just call it what it is. You might not like him, but guess what? He went through trials and tribulation. When you get the people on your side, that's the winner. Yeah, I mean, and certain people on your side. Look, everybody, figured that the Latinos weren't going to be on his side. Guess what? He had the Latinos. Everybody figured that the black males weren't going to be on his side. Guess what? He had a black male. And everybody thought that you know all these women were going to be for Kamala Harris. Well, you should have seen them after the debate. A lot of people were disappointed in Kamala Harris. They felt like she could have did a better job in the debate. They felt like she did a sloppy job. Go back and go look at it. All right, man. Let me talk about this real quick. Um, I'm gonna talk about Okay. Let me talk about this real quick, man. Um, I want to talk about Paul George, and I also want to talk about James Harden. Okay. James Harden and Paul George um, will never be able to carry a team no longer. Okay. They just can't. Um, First and foremost, man, Paul George, PG-13, has not been the same since his injury. Um, his body is breaking down. Okay. Um, Paul George, he he's not as consistent as what some people would like him to be. Okay. Um, does he possess talent? Of course he does. You know what I'm saying? He's a talented individual. You know what I'm saying? But he cannot carry a team quite like he did when he was in Indiana, and to a certain extent when he was over there in OKC. Um, I mean, he carried the team somewhat with the Clippers and stuff. Went to the Western, Father Time. I'm not gonna go that far, but we're looking at a Paul George that his his injuries are starting to take a toll on him. Okay. Um, if you're looking for Paul George to be, um, the Anthony Edwards type, the Ja Morant type, the Luka type, even a Jalen Brunson type, he cannot do that no longer. You know what I'm saying? He might go on spurts where he could score. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, he's going to get lost in the shuffle eventually. You know what I'm saying? And you have to be consistent. Paul George's downfall has been his consistency, particularly when it comes to the playoffs. Okay. Now I don't like to keep saying that name way off P or playoff P or none of that other stuff. I don't like to say any of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because I understand how hard it is to play in the NBA. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not gonna come with those phony names or any of that other stuff. But what I am gonna say is, man, is that I'm not gonna put. I don't look at Paul George in that light. And like I said, it's nothing personal, but he cannot carry a team no longer anymore. If you go look at the stats, I know that he was shorthanded, okay? But you were supposed to be considered a superstar. People call Paul George a superstar. I haven't hit a parlay yet. Man, you know what, exclusive? I haven't, everybody's moving over to prize picks, man. Like parlay, Cypress TV had put me on parlay. Shout out to Cypress TV too. He put me on parlay, but I was on parlay for a little bit, man. I need to tap back in with it, but everybody been on prize picks now, and to be honest with you, exclusive, I wasn't even messing with prize picks, but now everybody going prize picks, man. But yeah, still messing with parlay. Parlays are one of them ones where you can get that money on the back end too as well. But as far as Paul George is concerned, before that injury, everybody had looked at Paul George. Paul George was going to be a a player that reminded you of a T Mac, a better T Mac because he actually played defense and stuff. I will say this though, Paul George is giving effort on the defensive end, considering that he did have that hyperextension. But if you're looking for Paul George to carry us in the same light, like those players that I just named, like a Luka and Jalen Brunson and guys like that, he can't do that anymore. Do you think Paul George is better than Carmelo Anthony? He could do a lot more. Yeah, but the difference was that Carmelo Anthony, where I give the edge to Anthony. Carmelo Anthony, he stayed healthy. You know what I'm saying? Carmelo Anthony was way more consistent than Paul George. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you're talking about like overall as a player, like talent wise and being able to do more, Paul George was. But in terms of just the ability to stay ready and stuff like that, it's been Carmelo Anthony. But at the same token, we got to look at it like this: Carmelo Anthony never suffered the type of devastating injury that Paul George did. Paul George lucky to be walking again. He lucky to be walking again, man. But he can't carry a team anymore. Not by himself, man. And that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like it's okay for you to be looked at as a complimentary. You need you're better fit being a complimentary player. Like Stephen Green just said. You'll probably be like right now. To me, Paul George is a second or third option. You know what I'm saying? And some people take that personal. Some people get mad at that when I say that. But I didn't feel this way before the injury. Of course not. I always saw Paul George as a first option. I always saw him as a first option. went before the injury and stuff. But right now he's not he's not a guy that could carry the team. But it like I said, it doesn't take away from him, like who he is on the court and what he brings to the table or anything. It's just like you can't get your hopes up for Paul George and expect him to be a Jokic who can carry a team, who can be a Jalen Brown who could carry a team. Even though Jalen Brown, he had a lot of supporting cast or whatever, but Jalen Brown, let's just be honest, Jalen Brown was always ready to go. You know what I'm saying? Jalen Brown, of course, he didn't suffer no injury that Paul George did, but you just can't depend on him. And see, with James Harden, it's the same thing. A lot of people still think that James Harden can be, the James Harden of old. Being a Houston Rockets James Harden and stuff like that. And even within, even then, man, he wasn't successful doing it or whatever. He took away a lot from his teammates. Down the stretch, he didn't know how to capitalize. Um, Never was really a good defender. The only time that you could say that James Harden was a good defender, man, was when he was in OKC, and that's when he was hungry. When he was coming off the bench, being a six man, that's the only time that James Harden was you looked at him as a defender. But James Harden can't carry a team because of his mentality. James Harden is he continues to be lazy. Do I think that the Sixers can beat the Lakers tonight? Highly unlikely. I was talking to somebody about that, man. But Steven, to be honest with you, man, and that's if AD play. If AD is playing, you might as well forget it. Drummond is not stopping AD at all. Um, you might as well forget it. And then plus, they already got cohesiveness, so it might be an easy win for the Lakers. Now, I still want us to go out there and compete, regardless of who we got out on the floor, but I don't see that happening. Man, he really trying to get you to sub to his channel, Steven, man. Yeah, make sure you go sub to Cottage, man. But the thing about it, man, listen, um, James Harden, will never be able to carry a team like that again, either. You know what I'm saying? He every single year he talks the same game. You know what I'm saying? And he does the same thing. You got to think about it when he came over there to Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? We all know that some of it had to do with health, but for the most part, he was still complaining about the same stuff and never was able to quite do what he was supposed to as a player. Then when he went over to the Sixers, people expected him and Embiid to mesh. Well, that didn't happen. And although James Harden did show up in the playoffs and stuff, um, he played horrible that those last couple of games. I think it was um, when we ended up taking the L in the playoffs with the Sixers. Now you're over here and I didn't mention OKC and Houston because we know what he did in Houston. He was sitting up there begging for MVPs. You know what I'm saying? The same type of MVP that Steph Curry earned, the same type of MVP that Giannis earned, the same type of MVP that um, a lot of the other greats had earned. You were begging for an MVP. You know what I'm saying? To me, what that says is that you you literally wanted something that was going to make you feel better because you know that you couldn't get a champ. You ain't going to be able to get no championship on your own. So you want to just be able to say, hey, I got an MVP, I got an MVP and everything. So you got to beg for it. James Harden, even though he's averaging a lot of turnovers, I mean a lot of assists, he's averaging a lot of turnovers. You know what I'm saying? He not taking care of the ball like he's supposed to. James Harden has turned into a player to be to be quite honest with you, man. James Harden is almost close to being on the bench. To be honest with you, you know what I'm saying? Like he cannot carry. He's not going to be able to take this Clippers team anywhere, especially by himself, and any team for that matter. He just can't. And like Paul George, he's a complimentary player now too. You know. Now, when you say that, a lot of people get it misconstrued, saying that I think that he's trash or I think he's garbage or something like that. That's not the case. It's just not. Um, he's in the NBA, and respect for him for being in the NBA. But the thing about it, and you have to understand, is that a lot of these guys, they take their job seriously. You know what I'm saying? Ant-Man, he takes his job seriously. You know what I'm saying? He's putting in the work. He's coming with something better every single season. So, and Paul George, I mean, sorry about that. James Harden, he doesn't necessarily do that. Prove me wrong. That's what I want to see. Prove me wrong. Prove to me that you could go out there and be able to make your teammates better. You know what I'm saying? Now you have shown the ability because I think you're averaging like 10 assists if I'm not mistaken. You can get your team your teammates better and everything. But the thing about it is your shooting percentage is horrible. You're like I think like 20 is 30% or something like that. That's horrible. And that's not carrying a team. And Harden lost to the Warriors and yeah, that's what I was talking about in 2018. You know, that's you know, you know, the Warriors coming back and all that. He probably still have nightmares about that. So you said, yeah, Harden got to prove me wrong. Yeah, listen, bro. I don't I don't see Harden even lasting that long in the NBA and anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because Harden, man, doesn't he? It's like he's not motivated. Like he doesn't look like Ja. Ja looks motivated and hungry to prove himself. Anthony Edwards, even though they're young, they look hungry to prove themselves. Anthony Davis, he looked like he's hungry to prove himself. James Harden doesn't look like that. He doesn't. Yeah, I said the same thing. He got a couple years left, man. Yeah, he running out of time, man. He really running out of time. Yeah, he do. He play lazy ball. He play lazy ball for us. I mean, he'll go on the stretch, Stephen, where he'll do good. But y'all was the one up in there trying to push that narrative, talking about, oh yeah, him and Embiid the next Kobe and Shaq, man. I was like, man, if y'all don't get out of here with that, absolutely not. But yeah, man, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here, man. Got to get it in with this gym and everything. Make sure y'all hit that like, sub to the channel if you're not a member. Also hit the notification so that you're able to get all of my content and all of my videos. Salute to everybody that pulled up. Salute to the whole entire Lions Den basketball, as well as our boxing community. Until then, straight to the point. I'm out.